Here, whatever all these things,
it's comparable only to a nuclear explosion.
All these sentences actually doesn't suit for all the other people.
No.
Because when we listen here, most probably we feel that these are fitting in very correctly here.
That's right. When you read this, I think.
Of course, after seeing, because these are not the sentences that I have written after coming to UG. These are sentences actually which is printed in some book which is printed sometime back. Just I have copied. Yeah. I can show that book anytime.
It's just that he's a perfect
because it is not that I have framed these sentences after coming here or after listening to UG. That's what I am interested. Because these sentences are not my sentences.
No, and I mean, I've heard this.
I don't have this much of English also. My English is very bad. I can't write like this. These are all copying from the
But you read
books.
this, and we've all read them.
The only thing is because I was reading the book, the interesting sentences I have collected. But all these sentences are from those books only, which are printed sometime back.
Well, he's just the perfect expression. And Uranus and Saturn.
Otherwise, actually, somebody may think because I have come here for so many years, because I have framed all these sentences after listening to you. It is not like that. It is not even one half a sentence is framed by me. I am telling you clearly. I can present those books at any time. You can take the Xerox copy of that book.
It means it has been earlier.
It is earlier. So many years earlier it is written. Yes. My wonder is actually these sentences are exactly fits only here.
Some words, use words, use phrases.
And he uses this, all of this ashes rising from the ashes
Yes.
all the time.
So many words are only what he
And he's
uses.
never read this. I guess he has.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's his language.
But they apply to him. They apply to them, him.
And even here I have collected in one or two places. Some fellow has written in astrological magazine some 20 years back about Pluto and other things. Something he has written. When I was reading that one, that was fitting only to this place. If we read so many spiritual people in India, the history for all the other people, this doesn't fit there. It fits here very correctly. And these sentences are from the books only, and from the articles. And my language is not this one. I cannot write it also. Because people, by this time you might have understood, my English is not good. I cannot write.
No, but this, I hadn't read this until I came here the other day. But I mean, it's exactly what I've been saying about Pluto. In the consciousness of what Pluto is. The West
She came
more.
already.
But I also, I've been hearing about Pluto, thinking about Pluto for years, but I never really felt it until I knew about Yuji. And it never really came into my chart until I met him. And I have it now every day. It's like a virus.
Yes.
Pluto virus. Everybody's got it. I have it in my ascendant now. Right now it's 70 degrees. Scorpio. Yeah. So, and it's going to be going back and forth all the year. And Mahesh has it on his midheaven right now. And Frank has it on his MC. So, it's interesting. Anyway, I don't know what it means. And I'm sure if we did charts of everybody, there'd be very strong Plutos right now, but it's very strong for him for some reason.
It's very strong. So we don't know because many people did one book called Aquarian Conspiracy.
Yeah. I've read parts of
Most
it.
the time is coming up.
Coming up when it's time for Pluto to surface. Right?
Yes. Most probably this may be a conspiracy.
Cosmic.
For throwing out everything.
Yeah. Of course, the bomb is Pluto.
Because whatever Yuji is telling here, most of the things, even the scientists are writing these days.
Yeah.
Most of the very famous nuclear scientists they are writing. For example, take this Sheldrake, a recent person who has written, he is learning contagious. He has given the title, he is learning contagious. An article he has written. So, I don't know. The present day, the very important thinkers also, they are telling the same thing. It is coming to the same
He's been saying for years.
Yes. And the only thing is they are speculating on theories,
He knows
but it is operating here.
Yes.
That is the only difference. They are speculating. They are theorizing. It's operating here.
I think it's true. He knows it's true.
Yes, it's operating here.
What they are thinking, the perfect man, supreme person, what he could be, the scientific, the fiction, science fiction, Superman. Superman. It's not in that area that he will fly and all.
Yes, correct.
But this is the area where he is completely free. It is not in having all kind of all-knowing things where he have a muscle power, he can fly anywhere. That is not Superman. This is the end of Superman.
Right here.
Yes. If you read science fiction writer like Isaac Asimov,
Yeah.
if he meets Yuji, he will get wonderful ideas.
Yeah, he should meet him, actually. I'm sure that he'd be very accessible. He's a very nice man.
Yeah.
I've met him, actually. He's
Exactly.
very nice. He might be interested.
When he talks, some of the ideas of Asimov, they come very parallel to this.
Today, what is the moon's degree here?
Today, what?
Today.
Today?
Today, what is the moon's degree?
January, let's see.
January.
January
Then I
3rd.
can tell you.
Yeah.
Moon's degree, you tell me today.
In
Hello. This recording is on 2nd January 1990.
India, that bastard air-splitting argument. Not yours, you are the one that is indulging in the air-splitting argument. That's why I am trying to present, look at this way also. If you are interested in finding out for yourself and by yourself what is there now, then there is a meaning. You don't understand that you are creating what you see there through the knowledge that is given to you. What you read about the spirit, what you read about the soul. If the knowledge is not there, what do you think you will find there? If there is no entity there, what is there to reincarnate? If you want to believe, that's your privilege. But you will be a menace to the world. If you believe in reincarnation, you will destroy all those who do not believe. I will never destroy anybody, whether you believe in reincarnation.
Those in the West who do not believe in reincarnation are not destroyed.
They believe in God. God comes handy to those people to kill. Jesus was the worst. I tell them, thank God I was not there at that time. I did not have a hardware shop. I would have supplied them with more nails. Now there is a story that he stage managed the whole thing.
There is another interpretation. Before he was crucified, he died of heart failure.
No, but he ate some mushrooms. There is a book called Jesus is a Mushroom. And he had all those fantasies and believed that he was son of a god. To cover up the fact that he was son of a bitch, he invented this, that he was the son of a god. He was a bitch. And he believed that she was a virgin. Oh, come on. And a white elephant entered the womb of Yashoda, and Buddha was the product. What is her name?
He was the white elephant here.
Kunti, that bitch. He attributed to Surya. In the light of what you is teaching, you have to rewrite Mahabharata, Ramayana, Bhagavad Gita, and they will kill me. That's what this president of the Jungian Foundation told. In the end, it is not there that Kim destroyed the second half of the Quran. Yuji, listen, you are destroying culture. You are destroying science. You are destroying the very foundation of thinking. They will kill you there. Thank God you are not there on any platform. You stop saying all these things on the television. They are not going to have you for long because it's all run by the business people, commercial. So I don't care. I said, I will say whatever I want to say, and that's the end of it. If they don't want me again,
Yes, you are destroying the ethical, spiritual, and cultural, every aspect.
scientific thinking,
And
scientists.
not giving an alternative. That's
Why?
the most dangerous.
If I give any alternative, I'll be like those bastards again.
Then what happens to us if
Nothing will happen. You want to ask that question, find yourself in a situation where the knowledge is not operative, you will not ask that question.
It may be for one or two, but the millions.
Why are you concerned? Are you concerned about the millions? Never trust a man who says that he's concerned about humanity. Never trust that fellow. He's concerned about himself. He may talk, you see, of concern for humanity, mankind and all that rubbish. We have recorded. Now we stop that.
If not God, at least there is a power.
Why should there be any power? Whatever power is there
Is in you.
you are that power. Then you ask me the question, can you create a universe? That bastard never created the universe, God.
All the power is within man means Aham Brahmasmi.
No, not Brahma. Why you want Brahma? I am God, I am God. Mad people go there in the mental hospital and say that I am God, I am God, I am God. You are no different from that by saying Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Asmi, Brahma Aham Asmi.
Power, we call it by another name, call it.
I am that, you are that, all right. So you can sit in front of a flower and say, I am that. You say to yourself, I am that, your wife. I'm sorry to bring these crude things into the focus. Observer is the observed. It's a joke, sir. Don't touch this. You can read that and give discourses on observer is the observer. How can there be separateness? How can there be, if there is a division, then yes. I told you about the scientist, the top physicist. He will get Nobel Prize. You don't talk of that nonsense to me.
Observer and the observed doesn't exist so far as he is concerned. So far as we are concerned,
So you will live in misery and die in misery. You have no chance. You can read the Mandukya Upanishad backwards, forwards, memorize everything, repeat, interpret, do what you like. It doesn't touch anything there. It has not touched anything there in you. I'm sorry. What are you doing? Only thinking these thoughts. Dialectics, that's all that is there, but it has not touched anything in you or anybody.
please tell what will touch us.
You will not be here first. You will not ask those questions. You will not go to anybody. You will not listen to anyone. It is too late for you to even bother about. You are a retired man, so so you don't have to go to a school and learn, get
So
some
you
truth.
want us to be born again.
Huh?
You want us to be born again.
No, you are not going to be born again. Nature is waiting for you to die, so that it's only interested in your body, not in your soul, not in your God.
If it is interested only in my body, what happens to think that I was trying to maintain continuity?
That
There
is the one thing. That is the one thing you are not ready after living. I don't know how old are you.
I am 65.
Another 20 years, 30 years, maybe if you are lucky enough, you will live. Is that all? All that is coming there, and all your life you have gathered all these experiences, you have gathered wealth, you have gathered all this knowledge, you have gathered a big family. Is that all? The moment you ask that question, you have become a sucker for somebody coming up with some theory. That is why these people are interested in. They have everything that they can ask for, materialist speaking. So is that all? The moment you ask that question, is that all? Then there is somebody to exploit that situation and take you for a merry-go-round. Put you on a merry-go-round. So you have already become, you see, a victim there.
I asked that question myself, not in the public, I don't go to a guru.
Yeah, all right. What is the
I ask
answer?
the question myself.
Yes.
I try to find an answer.
That is the
myself.
most idiotic, stupid question to ask, and the question cannot stay there. Any answer you give is given by somebody else, not yours. You have no answer of your own. Is that all? It repeats itself, is that all? Then it is up. Because there is no answer. You can repeat that question 100 times. If the answer given by others is not there, unfortunately it is full of that nonsense. You depend upon them. You accept the authority
In
of
spite of my coming here many times.
You can come here. If you are not listening to me, you are still listening to Shankara. So what happened, Chandrasekhar?
No, he said it takes time. Tomorrow, day after.
What is wrong with it?
It is stuck inside.
That's all.
That is normally it should not happen.
It happened.
It happened.
Anything you touch. So I am suggesting that she should go to Singapore. And but the whole thing transferred on to the PAL system. And come back, 4,000 rupees a ticket. It's more than 4,000, huh? Round trip ticket to Singapore from Madras. Or wait until the next month. So she wants to use this camera.
Yes.
Yes. Cows there. I and the cow sitting there. When we went for a walk in Delhi, and it was 7 o'clock, the cow was there. I stood by the side of the cow. And Frankie boy, there is no difference between the two. That has 4 stomachs, I have only 2 stomachs. I am also chewing the cud. That is chewing the cud. That is the choiceless awareness. It's not an instrument to be used. It's looking at like that. The 2 eyes. And I am also looking at it. He burst into laughter. And they thought that he was crazy. People around, why is this fellow laughing like this? They said, that's all. That is also chewing the cud. It has 4 stomachs. I have only 2 stomachs. That's the difference. Today she took many pictures in front of a cow there. Black and white. That's all I had. No difference from the
Once
cow.
you said the same thing. You said the same thing once in that house.
Yes.
On the balcony, there was a buffalo. It was in afternoon at 12 o'clock, hot sun. Buffalo was not moving at all. And he called me and said, look at that. He said, strange. It was not moving. He said, that is the choiceless awareness.
And then also, another day, they were talking of the sacredness Ramana Maharishi, and that particular year, I think they celebrated the centenary of some such thing. The paper carried a huge one full-page picture of Ramana Maharishi. And it was there in the street. The cow dropped its shit on that. I wouldn't mind doing that. I don't do it because I don't want to prove anything, that it doesn't mean a damn thing to me whether it's Ramana Maharishi or somebody else there. The thought, the importance you give to that man, the image you have of that man, you see, is important to you, but for the cow, I am also there. But I wouldn't do that because I don't prove anything by that, and say, hurt the feelings of you guys unnecessarily. But it really doesn't matter. You have an image of that fellow. You think he is an enlightened man, and you have printed a big thing, and one cow drops the shit there, the other cow uses it there. Otherwise it eats it up for food, and the printing ink is the curry powder for that. Yes, that's right. And that's the kind of milk we get here. This is stop that, Chandrasekhar. You have enough of this.
If I had known.
No, that piece is satisfying.
Comfort, yes, you can do it.
But I have another life.
Guruji was in his previous life.
And now he knows about my past life. What was my...
So many of them.
Yes, what
He
was...
was the Lama, Tibetan Lama, Dongre Danchi Rinpo.
They even knew my name, sir. What was that?
Dongre Danchi Rinpo was his name. He was a Tibetan Lama.
Tibetan Lama.
My guru told me.
His guru told me. And he was the grandfather of that. What is your relationship? Come on,
Ram Sesha.
our grandfather. So that means you were also related in my previous life. Oh my God. You are not here for nothing, Chandrasekhar.
Tibetan guru and this is so okay to be told.
I can tell you something more interesting than that. His wife, ex-wife, what was she, Gandhi reborn or
Kasturi.
Kasturi?
No.
Come on, tell me.
Leonardo da Vinci.
What artistic talent she had.
Leonardo da Vinci.
No, but who was Gandhi?
That
Your
is
sister-in-law.
sister-in-law. Yes.
Gandhi, in his previous life. His wife's ex-wife's sister was Gandhi in her previous life. And so you apply that test and check my past birth by name.
Who said all that?
His guru.
You have got a guru.
So he had.
Ex-guru.
Ex-guru. Oh boy.
Dongre, dance.
What did I do?
No, lamas.
Last time, Lama is a cheap one, not the top one.
No, yes, like the head of that.
For my good group.
At least some status.
At least some good
Is
status.
enlightened by one is
What is Yoga Brashta? Why that word is used?
That is what my grandmother told. Because when she watched me from my childhood, this fellow, something strange. So he must have almost gotten there in his previous life. By hair's breadth, he did something, he missed it, so he has to be born again.
Because the experience is very much there.
Yoga Prastha is your Gita, isn't it? Not Ayurveda.
how were you
You are
raised
asking.
as a baby?
But it came in the Nadi.
They didn't use the word Yoga Prastha.
I see.
This very life he will attain moksha. How did they
he
know?
missed
But
it
the
very
Komandani
narrow.
said that 49th year some this calamity.
They are still speculating who was the man that put me on the right path. Valentine appeared all right and made it easy for me to live in the best for good. But who was that fellow that put me on the right path?
We don't know. It is all
That everybody is speculating in.
Not Ramana. Ramana was
Because in your autobiography, you have said
autobiography I never wrote.
that is in the second book,
You must be knowing.
You mentioned that.
I am not responsible for anything that is concerned. But I did not write anything. They would like to find something, some cause for whatever happened to me. Otherwise, cannot accept that whatever I did, whatever I did not do, put me wherever I am. You cannot accept that. Also, everything is irrelevant. How can you accept my statement that meeting Valentine or Valentine meeting me is irrelevant? So why you are doing still, why you are concerned about her? I am not concerned about her. Tomorrow I will dump her just like this. Things don't go well. It is something not because of my gratitude, thankfulness, nothing. Some person was with me traveling 25 years. She cannot travel anymore, so I get off the train. I have to continue my journey. Chandrasekhar look after me. She is lucky to have him. I am a monster.
Another incarnation is coming out.
No, he was my grandfather. What was his previous Ramaseshwara was what?
Ramacheshwarya was
Her mother's
Saul's mother's father.
grandfather. Her grandfather.
Grandfather.
And my father's some relationship they
Same
had.
brothers. They were your
So
father's
you
father.
see, in his previous life also he was related to.
Surely all of us must have had a place also.
And what about his ex-wife's sister? Is a reincarnation of Gandhi. And also, who is his wife? Another sister-in-law.
Kasturibai.
Kasturibai, another. All strange, So you can put all these things together and discredit what she said about me. That's logic, you apply your logic.
Every time you say shoot that bastard, that man must have had some mistake in the past.
With me.
Something probably not reconcilable. That is very.
Sir, Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna used worse words, worst words, compared to him.
That is not been taken over.
They deleted all those words. I asked Nikalananda,
Expletives.
why you did it? You see, it's unexpurgated edition. Unexpurgated edition you should have published. It's there in Bengali. They all know that. But that would destroy the image of that man.
Ramana didn't do it.
Ramana, I don't know. Chumma irida, chumma he used it. Anytime anybody asks the question, chumma. Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up. Instead of saying, shut up, he said, chumma irida.
Bhagavatar was repeating that.
Yes. Chumma irida. For every question anybody asks, Chummayiru. Chummayiru means shut up. In Tamil. Just keep your big mouth shut.
That is usually a Tamil way of everybody expresses.
Yes, that's the common word. He didn't call anybody a bastard in the village. Bastard is only means not a genuine man. That's what the dictionary says. I go by the meaning. First definition is of course the usual one. Jesus was the bastard.
Jesus the bastard.
Karna was a bastard. So she said, this son impregnated her. And here some God knows what. Roman soldier. That I can never forget. And some Christian came and asked, told me, I believe in Virgin Mary, and that's good. I said, you know, that one Roman soldier raped Mary, and the result was Jesus. At that time, they said his wife, she's a Catholic. She was coming up, you got it wrong. She raped that Roman soldier. Get this straight. And I repeated this in Rome, next door to the Vatican. And even the communist member of the parliament, he said, Yuji, this is too much. This is too much, and I'm not going to listen to this. I agree with you, not here. This time I stayed in his house. He left the parliament after listening to me. Communist member. What is his name? Guido something. So all by myself I stayed there. Of course they came and took Marisa.
You can say
He has 500 cows. A farm. 500 cows. 5,000 liters of milk every day they sell. He hates milk. He uses probably for his coffee or tea some, what is the milk they have? Non-dairy products. Because he hates milk. 5,000 liters every day he produces. Right, sir, thank you.
how it is
Sooner or
possible.
later. Otherwise,
How it is possible.
I have to continue to live. Through your memory I live, even today. So it will continue. There is not much that anybody can do or bother about.
So usually lives through our memories.
Your memory is not yours, it's a tradition. So you have to succeed in putting
First we live because of the memory.
of that memory.
Otherwise I don't know whether I am living or not.
You have no way. If you ask the question, are you alive or dead? My answer is born out of the common knowledge you and I have of a living person. So I am using your knowledge. Look, you see,
So we are like a dummy, they play this dolls, by tying it.
Yes, puppet.
By whom? There is no player there.
So we are not even a dummy.
No, that is only a simile I use for the fellow who interviews me. But there is nobody who is pulling these strings. Time is time. 5:30. The area.
How do you explain it scientifically?
Why is it not explainable scientifically? You are asking the question, are you alive? And the question is born out of the knowledge you have of a living man, and that knowledge is given by some doctor who has observed certain things. The question is born out of the knowledge you have. If that knowledge is absent, it is always present in you. You have no way of knowing whether you are alive or dead. So there is no birth and no death. Whatever is born is destroyed the moment it is born. That's the way it is operating here. This body is going through the process of dying every moment. So it is not concerned whether it will be born again. So there is no birth and no death for this body at all. Even when you die, when it becomes a corpse, it is continuing. It is providing the continuity of life. The very putrefaction of that body is a living thing. You are only interested in defining what is life. What is life, you will never know. Nobody will be able to tell us anything about living. What we mean by living is how to live. Our relationships, living, not life. Nobody will be able to experience what is called life. You can give 100 different definitions.
But there should be something best in that.
Huh?
There should be something very superior. So
I think
everybody
that is the basic folly, the tragedy of mankind, is to believe that the human species is created. If there is any creator who is responsible for that, for a grander and nobler purpose than the mosquito that is sucking your blood. That is where we have gone wrong. We have separated ourselves from the totality of things. And we have believed and still believe that the whole world is created for the benefit of man. And that is the reason why we have created all these ecological problems, created the problems of pollution, and created every problem that is pushing us towards nothing but a total destruction. You may say it is a doomsday song. You are a negative, you are not positive, you are pessimistic, you are optimistic, not optimistic, and so on and so forth. But you are not any more important in the scheme of things than all the other species on the planet. So this idea that we are superior, that the whole thing is created for our benefit, will wipe us all out. If human species disappear, nothing is lost. Unfortunately, we will take all the other forms of species on this planet, and what will be left is not your concern. Nature is not interested whether 100 species, 1,000 species will survive. You know what they say is true. Out of the animal species we have on this planet, 95% are extinct. What we have on this planet is only 5% of what existed before. If you take the plant life into consideration, what we have is only 0.5 of what existed before. I don't know. My source of information is what I read in the Time magazine. You can check with them if these statistics are correct or not. So what is so important about the human species which have been extinct a long time ago? The nature would have created a grander and a nobler form of species in our place. What has become possible for us to survive longer than the other species is what we call the thought. The thought is a protective mechanism, and anything that is born out of thought is destructive. So that's what is going to happen.
This statement appears to be a little contradictory. When
Why?
you say thought is a protective mechanism.
It is protecting itself. That's what I am saying. Its own continuity, its own status quo. So anything you discover in the laws of nature are used by us for destructive purposes and not for the benefit of us all. Even the laws of nature which we have discovered are used for destructive purposes. It is possible for us to enjoy the television, we can live in comfortable places, and what you call progress is really not the progress. It is possible for me to go to the United States now from London to New York in 3 hours. If and when the hypersonic planes are put in operation, we will be able to cover the same distance in 1.5 hours. But how many thousands and thousands of planes you are using to destroy life and property? I am not against progress. People ask me, why do you use all these modern conveniences and comforts? I grew up in a place where the only mode of transportation was a bullock cart. I am not like that. Gandhi to reverse, put the clock back and go back to the days of bullock carts. Whatever mode of transportation is there available to me, I am conscious of the fact that everything we are doing is polluting the atmosphere. Yesterday one ecologist was here and he was arguing that it is one of the most important, I agree that it is more important than the nuclear war. But what is it that you are doing? Shoot that bitch, Maneka Gandhi, first I say. Why? Because she is not doing anything to to stop the wastage of paper. When we have this electronic equipment for our use, why should you have books? Why should you have newspapers? Why should you use papers for even plastic cards? They are using some fiber from the eucalyptus tree. What is it that you are doing? It's only a political job she has today, and she's not going to do anything. Are we ready? If encyclopedia can be put, the whole of encyclopedia can be put on a small disc, you should do away with all these books. There is another way of reading your newspapers. Another way of conducting everything, you see, through the help of electronics. So what is it that, are you ready to stop that first? That's the most important thing. All the libraries should be eliminated. All the book publishers will go out of business, but probably you will replace them with some other electronic equipment. You can read your newspapers there. What is it that they are doing? How many trees destroying so many eucalyptus trees by sending all this communication? I'm giving it as an example. I don't care for her. I don't even want to see her. They wanted me to meet her. So what are you doing? It's a great big joke. All these people, shoot them on sight and at sight. All these ecologists. What are they doing? They hold conferences. That bastard has nothing else to do. Prince Philip, he wants to save a whale. What for I want to know? Or some sea somewhere here. It's a joke. All these people have nothing else to do. And very wide, big publicity you have to save one whale for whose benefit he is doing. How many other species have disappeared? You may say, I'm a cynic. I'm not a cynic. I'm a realist. My feet are very firmly fixed on the ground. I want to look at the things exactly the way they are, not superimposing on it our fancy ideas and fantasies. What are they doing? The Queen Anne has nothing else to do. So she comes up with some fancy thing. They have given her a political job, Meneka. She's not going to achieve anything. It's not an easy thing. I have shares in the General Motors. Do you mean to say I will forego my dividends to save the exhaust fumes and do something about it? Not at all. I have a friend who had a car. Every time he went out, he was blaming the other fellow, forgetting that his car is also contributing, you see, to the, whatever you call it, the pollution. Strange people.
Sir, when you say that the human species is doing something destructive,
The only human species are destructive.
then what is supposed to be done?
Why are you concerned about, you stop, you see, first and don't bother about what to do in its place.
Just keep quiet.
You and I may keep quiet, others are not interested in
Oh, they
keeping
also
quiet.
keep quiet.
They are not, you see, this is a hypothetical situation. Nobody is going to keep quiet. Even if you, in your own microscopic way, stop using paper, stop using stamps, stop paying taxes, the war will go on. You know? You may say that, you see, by denying yourself food once a week, you are helping the starving people. You see, it's only comfortable to think like that. And you have what is called the do-gooder's high. That's a self-centered, selfish action on your part to share your food with somebody else. The only real thing to solve the problem is to blow up us all. They don't have, you see, the strength and energy to do that. You have invented the thing called reincarnation. They did something terrible in their past lives, and that is why they are starving. And next life they are going to have wonderful meals. What a joke it is. The whole idea of reincarnation. Attributing your present suffering, basic needs are denied. And that you attribute to the theory of reincarnation. You swallow all that kind of
What is
thing.
your answer, sir?
My answer is to blow up, but that is not, everybody else is protecting. You are protecting, you are individually responsible for that. I am not talking of changing the world. The world is not going to change. Individually, there isn't a damn thing that you can do. Collectively means war.
We have recent examples of Gorbachev doing something wonderful.
He is a bastard. He is a traitor to the cause of communism. How many thousands and thousands of people have died for the cause of communism? If he wants answers for his system to survive, he should not look to the West. That's an easy thing. Just the way we are all looking to the past, and the Joker talked of, Ramarajya. in this country. Gandhi talked of Ramarajya. How many people died there during the freedom movement? You tell me? Those who are getting, the freedom fighters' money, they were not even born during that. I know a lot of them. Those who really sacrificed their lives, they are not even interested in collecting anything. Which is a very horrible situation. How can you justify that? In the name of love, you are killing. In the name of kindness, I quoted that in the interview, in the Theosophical Society. Whosoever acts lovingly will inevitably come to the temple of divine wisdom. The generosity is fascinating. Every day, every lecture I repeated that nonsense. In the name of love, we have destroyed more. So if he wants to find an answer, Gorbachev, for his system, he has to find the answers within that framework and not look to America or any other country. Do you know what's happening there? They are opening McDonald's there. They are opening the Kentucky Fried Chicken things. Nothing wrong. Is that all? These people have an opportunity to exploit that country and sell their goodies. They are only looking for a market. They are not interested in solving the problem there. Why do you want to export organically grown potatoes from Idaho or potatoes for the potato chips there? Is that all? So these people now have an opportunity to have the marketing done there. That's all. They are not interested in the freedom of those people.
What is it should be done, sir?
What?
I
am not running that country, sir. I am not running. I am just pointing out the absurdity of believing that they all have become suddenly. He is going to face. That fellow will either be shot dead or he will be thrown out very soon.
He may be awarded Nobel Prize.
No, but you can award a Nobel Prize to some joker here and bring him here. He will become a refugee in the United States. That's all that you can do. But he's not going to solve the problem. Now it is already happening all along the coast of Iran. They are going to welcome all these Muslims. I want to see that happen there in Russia and not freedom. It's going to happen. I'm not a prophet. Once the Muslims are out in that country, the joker is going to be guillotined there. Or you bring him in a plane and give him a Nobel Prize, Peace Prize, and give him a refuge somewhere there in the United States. That's all that you are going to do. He needs this fellow's help. Gorbachev needs Bush's help. He is a partner in the peace. Is it in our interest that these great superpowers should get together? They are going to blackmail all these third nation countries. It is not in our interest that they should get together. Not at all. The 9 rich nations sit there in Basel. Switzerland is one of the most absurd countries in the world. Takes advantage of everything there. They decide the fate of those people who grow, what they need for their chocolates, cocoa. They fix the price. If you don't sell, you have to rot there. The 9 rich countries control the resources of the world today. Do you mean to say they are going to give up? Unless they are challenged. They have entrenched themselves there. They have the most powerful weapons to defend themselves there. If that is challenged, if they have to lose everything, they are going to fight for the last minute, last moment, and last chance. So you and I are not really interested in mankind or humanity, are we?
Because
are you honestly?
Because I am a human being.
You are not. That's a joke. That's a joke. Human being. You don't talk of human being. You are not really interested in humanity or man. What is responsible for this problem is that you know that you are coming to an end one day. There is no way you can invent reincarnation. Half of you are going to be in Victoria in the next life, or Mahatma Gandhi, or whatever it is in the next one. But you see, at least that mankind, humanity should survive. It's an extension of the demand for permanence that makes us all feel that humanity should survive, humanity should continue forever. That's all. Otherwise, you are really not interested in mankind, you are not interested in humanity at all. What is humanity after all, you and I put together? How can there be any unity? You say, now tell me. You are separating yourself every moment from everything. You are separating yourself, what you call, is separating itself from your own feelings. If you are separating yourself from anger, for whatever reason, because those jokers have told us that you should be free from anger. You are not free from anger. Tomorrow or next day or in your next life you are going to be free from anger. Anger cannot be separated from the living organism. Have you ever seen a dog? How to be free? If hormone is, as they say, you see, the desire is a hormone, the whole nonsense of your codes of ethics collapses. There is no way you can say that spiritual desire is nobler, higher and grander than the materialistic. Even the spiritual demands are only for strengthening and fortifying your materialism. The demand for moksha is the most materialistic demand that